following program contains disturbing materials that may not be suitable for some resellers. Viewer discretion is advised.
And a lot of people are walking away from cross listing. And, you kind of could think back on it like, well, was that a fad? And my answer is no, I don't think it's a fad. I think that there's other sites other than eBay out there, and they have a percentage of the market share that they've maybe taken away from eBay over the last few years. And while the traffic isn't quite the same when you're selling on those platforms, it can add about 10 to 20% more sales than if you just sell on eBay alone, if you do it right. And I'm going to tell you in this video why people fail at cross listing. I'm going to give you a recommendation at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that, because it can work. You can make cross listing work if you do it right. And I'm going to tell you my honest feelings about cross listing, not just tied into our sponsor or anything like that, because I think there's a lot of people who might be giving up on cross listing because they're going about it the wrong way, and quite possibly they're using the wrong tool to get that job done. Number one, most people fail at cross listing because they have a set it and forget it mentality. What is that? Well, it's the same thing if you think about eBay and you're just listing all day long. You're just listing, and that's all you do. You don't do any account maintenance. Maybe you only list once a week, right? Maybe you don't list very often. You don't really give your account that much attention until you get a sale or a question, and otherwise you're going with the flow. And maybe you can't because you're part-time, and I get that. Time is also of the essence, but that is certainly a thing, and these sites have it baked in where they want your attention. eBay is no different than Poshmark or Mercari or Etsy or any of these other sites. It does want you to be in your account. My opinion is daily, and the reason why I say that is I can tell you of at least one person I know who thought I was full of it, but they were trying to tell me over the last year or two, they were trying to tell me that you don't have to list every day to get good sales, and they were killing it. They were killing it. But now, and I have a way of looking up their account, I just happen to have their account, they hadn't listed for like the last 2 weeks, and their sales have come to a slow drip. And I don't know if that's you out there where your sales have slowed down substantially, but I have a feeling that it could have something to do with a set it and forget it mentality, where you're just not spending the same kind of time that eBay has grown accustomed to based on your account size, and it certainly does affect things. Like my secondary account, where I have 400 some odd items, and I noticed that when I don't spend the same kind of time that I spend on my main store, like listing and doing account maintenance and end items sell similar on a daily basis, well, it gets kind of, all over the place. Some days good sales, some days no sales. And then only when I return back to giving it the attention that eBay wants me to give it, do I see an impact in sales. And it just happens too often for it to be a coincidence. Another reason why people fail at cross-listing is because we just don't take the time to research the site that we're listing on, we're cross-listing to see what kind of items are best suited for that platform. And I'll give you kind of an example. A number of years ago, Poshmark, who's been mainly known for clothing and shoes, was introducing like appliances to their platform. You can sell like electronics and appliances and things like that. But it's my opinion that while there may be some people that have sold those type of things on Poshmark, that's really not the best platform for appliances and or electronics and things of that nature, because people, they identify a brand or a platform with the type of item that they're trying to buy. Like, people don't think of Amazon as being a good place to sell used stuff, but you can. People think of Amazon as a place to buy primarily new stuff. So we kind of identify these platforms based on the type of items that we're able to buy or we have bought before in the past. And if someone's used to buying clothing and shoes on, say, Poshmark, it's not going to be the number one place that they think, you know what, I'm going to go check and see if they have a toaster. They're probably going to go somewhere else. So making sure that you're listing, you're cross-listing, you know, clothing to Poshmark, shoes to Poshmark, a lot of everything you can send over to Mercari, but you're going to have more success selling clothing on Poshmark than you will on Mercari any day of the week. So it's just finding the right items, and you might have a mix of all those things and pushing everything over to Poshmark and then pushing everything over to Mercari. It's probably not the best recipe for success. Another reason why I think people fail at cross listing is because we go into it thinking that, I sell 5 items a day on eBay, and if I cross post over to Poshmark, I'm going to get 5 more sales in addition to the 5 sales on eBay. And or if I send these same items over to Mercari, I'm going to get the same number of sales on Mercari that I get on eBay. And that's just not a realistic expectation. And it's mainly because of the traffic. I don't know the numbers. I can't share you the numbers because I don't have them. But I do know that eBay has substantially more traffic than Poshmark, Mercari, Etsy. And don't get me wrong, they get a lot of people on those platforms, but that just shows you how much traffic eBay gets to their listings. And that's why I try to temper it by saying, expect when you're cross listing to increase your sales by 10 to 20%. Now, there are people that have really done well with cross listing over to these platforms and getting better results than 10 to 20%. But just to temper things so your expectations aren't like way up here, really expect 10 to 20% increase in sales on those other sites as compared to what you're doing on eBay. And the last reason why I think people fail at cross listing is because they're spending way too much money to get their stuff cross listed over. These programs, you can go and spend a lot of money on these programs to get your stuff pushed over to Poshmark, Mercari, so forth. And some of these programs run anywhere from, I think the base program is, or the base plan that you can pay for some of these sites is like $30 a month. That's the bare minimum, all the way up to $250. And it's really all dependent. See, they charge you a monthly fee, and they only allow you to cross list so many items. So I guess the lowest plans give you like 25, 30 items a month. I mean, who only has 25, 30 items in their store? And of course you pay substantially more depending on how many items you're trying to push over to these other platforms. And at the end of the day, you're looking back going, wow, I've had a couple bad months and I'm still on the hook with these programs to pay $30 to $250 a month. And you have to weigh, is it even worth it? If I'm not making the sales, well, is it worth my time and my money to only get at max, 10, 20, 30% increase in sales? So, you're increasing your overhead when you're using tools like this to cross list. So that's why a lot of people, that's really the biggest reason why people quit, is because it costs way too much. Now, there is a solution, and I can tell you that solution is called TreeCat. Now, we've been working with them for a little over a year now. And the cool thing about TreeCat and the concept of TreeCat is you do not pay a monthly fee. You pay as you go. So if you make a sale, that's the only time you're going to have to pay TreeCat. Now, they got a lot of support stuff, as you can see here, but look at their plans. Pay as you sell. So you sell 1 to 30 sales in a month, you're paying normally 60 cents, but if you use my promo code down below in the description, you're going to pay 50 cents a sale. That's like having a VA. Now, why would you pay them 50 cents a sale? Well, here's the thing. You can cross list and delist. You get free unlimited cross listing, unlimited auto delisting. So if you sell an item on one of the other platforms, like on Mercari, it'll go through and delist it off of Poshmark and eBay. Now, eBay, Mercari, Poshmark are the only sites that TreeCat is currently utilizing. However, they are working on, I believe in the future, working on adding Etsy. Now, you only pay when cross-listed items sell. And you can upload as many items as you want, unlike some of these other plans that allow you to only upload so many items to the other platforms. Another thing that kind of caught my attention is if you, and I'll show you a screenshot here, on some of these other platforms that you're paying top dollar for, $30 a month, all the way up to like $250 a month, if you're trying to go El Cheapo on some of the like $30 plans, well, you're not going to get at all the features that you really want to use. I mean, look at this chart here. On the left, there's plans that are like $30, $40, but you don't get the good stuff until you're willing to spend $200 to $250 a month. Who wants to do that? And so if we go back to TreeCat, though, you get free unlimited photos, free unlimited inventory, free unlimited guest accounts. So you can have a VA or someone that's helping you, maybe remotely helping you work your account. They can access it too. And see, as you sell more, if you sell more than 30 in a month that are, whether it's on eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari, get more than 30 sales, your price goes down. And as you make sales, if you sell more than 140 in sales, well, guess what? That 141st sale is only 1 cent. If you're using my code down below, of course, to get that. This is a special discount that you will get by signing up under the affiliate link down below. TreeCat sponsors me. I'm excited. I've been very excited about working with TreeCat because we meet with them like once a week, once every Tuesday afternoon, and we go over things that are working, things that aren't, and ideas to implement. So they are very, very receptive from what? Resellers, not just someone that's looking to, sign you up and make a monthly fee. And then once they get your money, then, this is the service you get. You get all whether you're getting one sale a month or you're getting hundreds of sales a month, you get access to all the different benefits. And what I like using it for also is I can do something that eBay does not allow anyone to do, and that is a scheduled end item sell similar. They call it a delist relist. That's what the technical term is on TreeCat, but it's essentially the same thing where you're ending an item and you're selling similar, so that instead of allowing eBay to recycle like every 30 days, eBay renews your listing against the number of listings you have that eBay gives you or allocates for you. Well, you're still doing that, but instead of eBay looking at it as a stale listing, wow, this listing's been sitting here for 2 to 3 months now, and it gets ranked lower and lower in search because it thinks of it as a stale and unwanted listing. You can use this process to say, I do it 27 days. Every 27 days, I want these items to list or end and relist. So it's a new item. It has that new item tag when a buyer is looking at it. And I don't have to do anything with it. Now, of course, you might want to get in there and mess with your prices and all that. And you can do that all through the TreeCat tool. You can do all kinds of things. It's a really great tool to use, and I'll show you here. This just gives you an example. This is my second store inventory, and you can get in here and set up your item description to look really cool. It has all the fields. Okay, so you could do all the things you can, like with your item specifics and your shipping and your policies. You can do the drop down of the different shipping policies that you have, and then you're good. And you just save the changes, and it'll upload that it'll sync it right up to eBay. And that's the cool thing. You can do your inventory, and this is what we use, and it works really, really well. So again, I just wanted to tell you that there's a lot of people that are giving up on cross-listing, but I wouldn't give up just yet until you've tried everything you can to make it work. And if you're not on TreeCat, then you're not trying everything you can to make it work. If you're utilizing all these old methods of pay X amount of dollars, 30, 40, 50, 60, 250, and it's not based on your performance, I think you're doing it all wrong. Figuring that out and making cross-listing work for you is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day, and we will talk to you very soon. Take care.